financial problems, particularly after losing his prominent case in the High Court in London against another Russian tycoon, Roman Abramovich.
The finance minister of Cyprus says significant progress has been made in reaching a deal to secure the country a €10 billion bailout before Monday's deadline. Michael Saris said Cyprus was now considering imposing a tax of about 25% on some large bank deposits. Mr. Saris had been holding negotiations throughout the day with officials from the European Union, the European Central Bank and the International Monetary Fund. Eurozone foreign ministers are due to discuss the proposals in Brussels tomorrow evening. Our Europe correspondent Chris Morris has been following developments in the Cypriot capital, Nicosia. Bank workers marching on the streets of Nicosia, but it's probably too late to make any difference. Cyprus is going to have to accept European demands that it raise €5.8 billion through radical reform of its banking sector. Eftichios Odysseos was among the protesters.
Yesterday, my son, you know what he asked me? I'm going to sell my new bike. I said, why? Dad, I see on TV, maybe you don't have work next week. How can I have a new bike when you don't have a job?
Measures which Cyprus may have little choice but to implement include a proposal for a 25% tax on all deposits over €100,000 in the country's biggest bank. Even then, there are questions about whether that will be enough. If there's no deal by Monday, the European Central Bank says emergency funding for Cyprus will be cut off. The vice president of the governing Democratic Party, Averof Neofito, said he was confident the deadline would be met.
We are continuing for the clarification of various issues. Things are going in the right direction, and hopefully by tomorrow in Brussels we'll have the agreement of our partners.
That's when Eurozone finance ministers will meet to decide whether Cyprus has done enough. Germany in particular has taken a tough line this week. It's determined to force fundamental change in the Cypriot business model, based on a huge banking sector which acts as an offshore tax haven. For years, investors in Cyprus have enjoyed far higher rates of interest than elsewhere in the Eurozone, and now it looks like they're going to have to pay.
Police in Lancashire say the body of a 27-year-old man has been found in deep snow near Burnley. It's understood that he was last seen setting off to walk home after a night out. Heavy snow and strong winds have been causing more disruption to road and air travel across the UK and have left thousands of people without power for a second day. A Met Office warning for snow is in place for Northern Ireland, much of England, North Wales and South West Scotland. Several airports were forced to close their runways for part of the day, leading to severe delays. Paul Waters of the AA says drivers need to think ahead and plan for the worst.
I think some people are not expecting the type of severity that we're getting. Some of the hilly routes in Cumbria, 14-foot snow drifts at this time of year are unusual, and you can set out from your home, maybe at a lower level, and think it's just raining, to find the hillier routes completely blocked and impassable.
People living on the Isle of Arran of southwest Scotland have been warned that they may be without power for up to 3 days. Emergency generators are being sent to the island. Our reporter Kevin Keane is there.
First came the whiteout, then the blackout, and it was total. Around 5,000 people live on this island, and yesterday morning the power to all of them went off. Since then, a procession of engineers' vans from Scottish and Southern Energy have been arriving on ferries from the mainland. They've been bringing with them generators to provide a temporary supply. Some residents have now been connected, but not Emma Campbell and her 6-month-old son, Gregor.
Power has been off since, I think, 7